Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome back to the second game of the Lebanon against Serbia best of 3 series in the MYM Nations Cup 3. Lebanon handled the first game nicely. We had some nice team fights coming out from both sides. Eventually, Lebanon were victorious. Just when it looked like Serbia might actually turn the tides of the game after a full team wipe, Lebanon pushed through, won a couple of fights, and successfully ended the game. So they're up 1-0. The teams have switched sides. We've got Lebanon on Sentinel. We've got Serbia on Scourge. Well, my music is actually turned off. Let's put that on again. Let's look at the bans already. We've got Serbia getting rid of Ancient Apparition as well as Batrider, and we've got Lebanon getting rid of Invoker and Weaver. So similar bans to last game. I believe we actually saw the exact same 4 bans coming off. Perhaps not in the same particular order, but they were all part of the first 6. Serbia on the button right now. They've got 10 seconds and ticking down. Anyway, Serbia are using actually a pretty big load of extra time on figuring out that they want to get rid of Pugna. So it's going to be Pugna, and Lebanon have a lot of choices now as to what to ban. Need to get rid of the one first pick that they don't want Serbia to have. Last game they got rid of Shaker when they were first pick themselves. Actually they weren't even first pick themselves, but I believe they got rid of the Shaker anyway. Could see them banning the Earth Shaker again. Might also settle for something different this time around. We'll see what comes out of them. Windrunner gained was quite a force for the Scourge. Let's try that one again. Windrunner was quite a force for the Serbians the last time round, so perhaps getting rid of that one wouldn't be a bad idea. And it's going to be the Shaker again. So Lebanon not really changing their strategy here. However, it's going to be a Visage's first pick for the Serbians, and this is something that I don't think the Lebanese team likes to see. They love playing with that Visage for themselves, and giving that one away to the Serbians is definitely going to put them in a bad position when it comes to tri-lane against tri-lane. Need to be careful when taking tri-lane fights. Of course, Visage is just so powerful on tri-lanes. So it's going to be very, very dangerous for them to take a matchup against that. Not saying that they can't, but they need to be careful. And it looks like they're a little bit paralyzed because time is definitely ticking for them after this Visage pick. The last times, or the last game, we saw some pretty quick picks coming off. But this time around, Lebanon definitely needs to think. And they might be discussing how to deal with this Visage. So what's it going to be, Lebanon? You've used 30 seconds of your extra time. Actually, a lot of extra time being used. They like the Morphling and they want that one again. And they're going to get the Clockwork on top of that as well. So Lebanon, in my opinion, getting a very good hero trade for that Visage. However, with the Serbians back on the button now, they know a lot more about what Lebanon is settling for now. Could choose to pick up, for instance, the Lion, which I consider a hard counter to Morphling, or at least a very good hero against it. To try and lock him down some more in this game. Alternatively, try to play a completely different style of Dota than the fighting style. Could try to play some pushing, some hardcore ganking, so Morphling does not become a relevant force. Instead of the very traditional some sort of gang, some sort of fighting, and then a lot of important team fights in the end is that's what we see a lot these days, at least from many teams. Of course, it doesn't go for everyone. Not everyone plays the same style, but in general, it seems like the way things are going right now is some gangs coming out with Smoke of Deceit, and then later on in the game, some all-team pushes trying to get towers, and that's what we saw in the last game as well. 5 heroes going together, aiming for a tower or two, And then if there's a fight, they're going to take it. If not, they're going to back off and be happy to get that gold. Alternative strategies are of course available. I mean, powerful pushing on the back of something like a Chen, an Enchantress. For instance, as the Wooder, Enigma hasn't been picked nor banned by either team. Surprising, perhaps. Very, very powerful hero. But it's going to be Crystal Maiden first off for the Serbians, and Shadow Fiend. So they want to have that Shadow Fiend again. And we'll see if the Lebanese guys try to go for some of the same stuff again, by getting perhaps the Lion once more. The Lion was very successful last game, got some very good plays through, had a nice view in the game, getting the right engages at the right times. And we'll see if that's what he chooses to do. Morphling and Clock. What's the third one going to be, Lebanon? Is it going to be perhaps... The Vengeful Spirit is actually available to them this time around. Last time the Serbians got it, and they got their own hands on the Crystal Maiden. Crystal Maiden would be brilliant for Lebanon right now, and I think it's a very good decision by Serbia to pick that one up. Complements Visage very, very well in the trial lane. And a little bit of a problem with the plate. He's doing a very good job at keeping quiet apart from that, no? We've got Tidehunter coming up for Lebanon again, so they want their hands on that one again. Seems like the core picks for Lebanon this time around is definitely Morphling and Tidehunter. Setting up the team fight with that Ravage and then having Morphling run through the heroes. And it does look like it's been successful. They've won a couple of games on it. They won against Germany with the Morphling, they've won against Serbia with the Morphling, so it looks like they might be going the same way, settling for the same style. Ban time though, Serbia. It's going to be Lich thrown away here. Yeah. Getting rid of that Nova and Chain Frost, of course, as well as the Frost Armor. Which, yeah, I'm not sure how much there is to say about this Lich pick actually. It's just or this Lich ban rather. It's just an annoying hero overall. Not sure if it has incredible synergy with anything on either side, but now it's definitely banned, so that doesn't really make much of a difference now, does it? Lebanon are thinking. Of course, if you're wondering which song is playing in the background, it's Within Temptation, Mother Earth. If you're into that kind of thing. Windrunner's been thrown away by Lebanon. So they did indeed decide to ban this Windrunner from the last game that Serbia gained a lot from. Didn't ban it in the first phase, but got rid of it in the second. And a good overall decision. Getting rid of heroes that the opposing team is very good with is probably even more important than getting rid of heroes that are considered imbalanced in the version. Because if you don't consider the option that you ban no imbalanced heroes, then okay, perhaps the opponent is going to get one or two, but you're going to get one or two yourself. However, if they get a Windrunner and they're very good with the Windrunner, then that's going to be a lot more game deciding than the fact that each team gets an imbalanced hero. Vengeful Spirit's thrown out by the Scourge. So that actually leaves Lebanon with quite a reduced hero pool to get their supports in. Venge is out, Lich is out, and Crystal Maiden has been picked by the Scourge. So the question is what Lebanon are going to get as the third hero for their trial lane. They can't even get the Visage with it. They played it exactly the Tide Visage Morphling lane in one of the games against Germany, but this time it's not available to them as the Visage is picked by Serbia. Brood's got rid of by Lebanon. It's going to be a puck pick for the Serbians. Last time around Lebanon had got rid of that puck, but now it's available to Serbia and they're going to take it happily and probably put it either on the... Yeah, it's going to be on an off lane, I believe. Unless they want to tri-lane bottom, which is also an option, especially when you've got the Visage. Not too much stun coming out on the Scourge side, though, which could prove to be a problem against this Morphling, that they can't really control him properly. They don't have anything against the Morphling at this moment, actually. He's going to be very hard for them to kill. Frostbite, he can waveform. All the slows from Visage and CM are just going to be negated by a waveform. And what's left is a puck with a silence, which is actually the main tool against the Morphling, as well as a short stun on the Dream Coil. And that's just not going to cut it. They're going to get the Witch Doctor, though, of course. Not even sure why I counted that one out when I went through the support heroes beforehand. But it was part of their pool. They're going to get it together with that Tide Morphling on the tri-lane. And then they're going to pick a solo last. Of course, letting it depend on what Serbia get now. Can't get the Brood Mother. Very good ban from Lebanon as well, getting rid of that Brood. Fit in nicely with the Serbian lineup, and now it's not available to them, so that's not going to happen. And pretty predictable, the Serbians are going to get a tri-lane carry hero now. The question is what it's going to be. Could be quite a lot of things they could settle for here, actually. But it's definitely going to decide whether they want to take a fighting battle or a carry battle. If they get another hard carry, they've got Shadow Fiend plus a hard carry. Meaning two actual... Oh, Shadow Fiend is also a fighter carry, but a hard carry nevertheless as well. And it's going to be Spectre, so there you go. The answer to our questions. They're gonna go for late game. And we'll see what Lebanon do about it. Lebanon sitting on quite a good team fight. Engage with Clockwork, follow up with Tidehunter, and then Morphling running over them. And they're gonna get Templar Assassin. Ooh, that's something I like to see. Personal hero I really enjoy watching played competitively, so we'll see if Babar can pull that off nicely. Actually a pretty good choice against all these Scourge heroes. The Scourge does not have any damage over time, so the refractions are going to block important stuff. It's going to block Puck Orbs, Shadow Fiend Razors. Actually they do have a Frostbite, which is probably going to take a couple of the ticks from the refraction. It's going to block Visage Nukes. Very nice pick, actually, very clever. And until the Radiance comes off on Spectre, I predict that this Templar Assassin is going to be a force based on the refraction. So definitely the course of this game is going to be Lebanon not trying to get into super late game, as they're probably not going to win that fight. However, I consider this lineup stronger in the early mid game, not necessarily super early, but definitely in the mid game. With that Tidehunter combined with Morphling as well as a Clockwork. And that Lanaya, if she gets to move around a little bit and do a little bit of this and that, you know how it's going to go down. Alright, time's up. We're going to have the rune spawn. We just heard a little bit horn of battle coming out and telling the teams that the creeps are about to spawn. Illusion down on bottom. And Tide and Witch Doctor are hanging around here looking for that one. And oh, they're going to meet a puck down here. So the Serbians chose to throw their tri-line up top. Want to babysit the Spectre up here. And it's all going to come down to how well the Spectre gets locked down and how much farm the Morphling gets. Because if the Spectre gets a fast Radiance, it doesn't look good for the Lebanon team. However, if she doesn't and the Morphling gets farm, they're going to stand ready for a very powerful mid-game, of course, with this Morphling, as already mentioned. And going to be an interesting battle in mid as well. Lanaya against Shadow Fiend is always has been a discussed topic who wins that lane, and opinions are many. So we'll see what happens this time around. Clockwork's struggling against a very hard lane up top as well. He's going to play against Visage, Spectre, and Crystal Maiden. Crystal Maiden moving already though, looking to do something in mid. So is this Tide Illusion, playing a little bit of a mind game with Grisine, who's playing Shadow Fiend mid. Oh yeah, let's look at who's playing what actually. Babar's playing the Lanaya in mid. We've got Massive on Morphling once more. E.T. and Clockwork, he was the lion of the last game, did a remarkable job. Toto supporting again with the Witch Doctor, and surprise, surprise, Snoop is testing Tidehunter for the nth game in a row. Gordon, hard carry, no big surprise either, he's playing that Spectre. And we've got Grisine playing Shadow Fiend, we've got Cat playing Puck, Victor is playing Visage, and finally we've got Baya on Crystal Maiden. So no big surprises on either team of who's playing what. Perhaps that Grisine plays Shadow Fiend instead of Cat, who played it in the first game, could be a surprise, but the role distribution is no surprise at least.
Players' forces are under attack.
Clockwork has actually got level 2 up top, so he's probably going to be happy with that, as we might see an engage in mid. We've got the Gush, we've got the stun from Witch Doctor, but no real follow-up is available, of course, from this Templar Assassin. Until he gets level 6 and gets the slow, it's going to be hard for them to combo with him. But interestingly enough, they're leaving that Morphling solo bottom against the Puck. And that should be a lane that Morphling can definitely handle. Seeing his level advantage is 1.5 level as well, and he can just stand in front of the creep wave and keep that Puck at bay. Oh, somewhat. Oh, we've got Sentinel Hero sneaking around the top woods, looking to make a break for it. They know there's only 2 Scourge Heroes, and they know that it's a Visage and a Spectre, so not much going to come out of them. And there it is, Tide and Witch Doctor find the Visage. They're going to go for it. Gosh is there, Witch Doctor bouncing stun is there, Clockwork is going in, and they're all going to get clapped by the Furbolgs. And this could, who's this good for? Well, it certainly is good for the Sentinel for starters. They're going to get the first blood, but Snoop is going to get a tick off that flask, and it could be what he needs to survive. He's going to need more. No creeps there for you, Snoop. And there's going to be a double kill for Gordon as he managed to kill the Clockwork as well. So, not really what this, what Lebanon was looking for there. Oh, if something is going to be crucial in this game, it's that she gets a double kill. Oh wait, it wasn't the Clockwork. It was of course the Witch Doctor that she killed together with the Tidehunter. And oh wow, the Spectre is going to probably get very, very fat. He's going to have boots and a ring in a moment, and that's not what Lebanon wants. But the Serbians are going to be ever so happy about it. Looks like Lanaya and Shadowfiend are having a crack in middle. Shadowfiend is almost level 5, Lanaya is almost 5.5, so pretty even in here. And the reason Shadowfiend's behind on XP is that the Crystal Maiden has been in here for a little while trying to help. By the looks of it, hasn't helped much, as this Templar Assassin looks like he's doing completely fine. Oh, Crystal Maiden's got a haste. Might be setting up for something against this Clockwork. What does she have with her? Well, this is certainly not what she was looking for. Huge creep camp is just going to go rampant on her. But down on bottom, Puck uses a flask, but it's going to get stopped immediately by that Witch Doctor, and he has no mana at all. Puck is definitely done for. Cat is trying to eat whatever he can out of pure hunger, as there's no way out of that. And an important kill coming out on the Morphling, so he's got a lot of gold as well. He's actually tied with the Spectre in gold, who just got a double kill. Haunt, who's he gonna go for? Has shown up? Nowhere. Okay. So Haunt is used, and that means that the Lebanese guys can feel quite safe down on bottom with pushing this tower, knowing that the Spectre can't show up. Of course, depending if anyone else shows up, but against the Puck they should be just fine. And now Morphling's probably gonna pick up Basilisk, Ring of Health. Oh, he's going to finish his treads. And get the Basilisk, so not much HP on him. Witch Doctor, however, does have a flask and is probably going to use it. Yeah, there you go. That's team play, ladies and gentlemen. Look at him. Thank you, Toto. You're my best friend. Top lane, Crystal Maiden, Visage still hanging around. And wow, this Clockwork has actually managed to rack up level 5 up here. While Puck down on bottom is level 6. Wait, what? Okay, so the offlanes have got a lot of experience in this game compared to what we usually see them getting when playing against tri-lanes. And just when I thought level 5 Clockwork was much, I saw a level 6 puck down on bottom. Now Grazine is in huge trouble in mid though. There's going to be a gush. There's going to be a Witch Doctor stun. And wow, he's actually going to get a kill for it on the back of 2 nice races. Well played by Grazine. He knew he was dead and just tried to make the most of it. However, Crystal Maiden shouldn't have shown up at that time. He's going to get bursted out by Babar as well as a couple of hits from Toto. And now Puck TP's in for no reason at all. Cannot assist in this fight. And that just means more free, sexy time for Morphling down on bottom as the save is being called from Victor. Puck's going to quickly return to bottom lane though, and needs to become a force in this game with this Puck as well. Has a very big role to play for the Scourge heroes. Nice combo setup for the Shadow Fiend, of course, getting people in Dream Call so those races can get off, as well as keeping them in place for the Spectre to chase down. As just as I'm saying that the Clockwork is actually running rampant up top together with his friends Toto and Snoop. They take down Victor's Visage out here in the woods. And an important kill coming out for the Sentinel here as well. Really need this Clockwork to gain the levels, and that just gave him, secured him his level 6, so he can roam around a little bit and try to become a force as well. Not sure how well Clockwork actually synergizes with Templar Assassin, because the moment Clockwork catches somebody in the cog, I don't think Templar has enough range to actually hit them inside. And that might be something that the Lebanese team hasn't really thought about, and it could really bite their tails if they try to make an engagement. Of course, it's not going to be a big deal once Templar picks up her dagger, but until that moment, they need to be careful not to ruin each other's kills.
A player's forces are under attack.
Ooh, this is something Babar would like to pick up. He's got an invis on that Lanaya. He's going to pop it as well. Use a bottle charge to get up on HP and going to get prepared for middle. Shadow Fiend standing defensively, he's receiving items on the Crow. Well, he can't even go on the lane, he doesn't dare. He knows that the Sentinel are up to snuff. He's placing a defensive ward at the bottom rune. Templar. Oh, if Shadow Fiend gets a little closer, she's actually gonna go for it. Dives in, there's the Witch Doctor stun in the gush. Beautiful play coming out of Lebanon. But they let him survive. And now they're actually gonna get tied, killed for it. Yes, they are. Babar gave up on killing the Shadow Fiend, and because of that they actually had a hero escape, and that was not how that should have gone for Lebanon. Another one of those surprising mistakes that you don't really expect to see coming out of them. That was a miscalculation from them. Of course, the Serbians are going to be ever so happy that didn't turn out worse. And looking at a Spectre with 60 CS and a Vanguard, time is ticking for the Sentinel right now as Gordon is getting ridiculously farmed up top. So if they can just stall this game and play it a draw for now, then they're looking at a very, very good mid-game with that Spectre.
The player's forces are under attack.
Lebanon have got a lot of heroes up top. They're all smoked. They want to get rid of this Spectre. They know they have to deal with her, and now is going to be the time. Now is the time, says Lanaya, and gets that trap off. Clockwork is in there as well. Say goodbye to Gordon. He actually even picks up a kill in that exchange because Clockwork was so low. Got killed by the dispersion as well as a dagger. However, Massive managed to kill Cat down on bottom solo. And this is what could give Lebanon a chance in the mid-game. Getting these kills... not only on the Spectre, but getting kills on solo lanes meanwhile. Because the force they need to kill this Spectre already is ridiculous as he is so farmed. And that means that the other lanes are going to have to handle themselves. And so far so good for the Morphling. So far so bad for the Maiden. She's going to get ripped. Boom! And bye-bye Maiden as Babar takes half of her HP in one hit. Baya didn't see that one coming. Another important thing about this Linnea that we haven't talked about just yet is the fact that the traps give vision. Not only do they slow, they give vision, and that means that Babar can use these traps to efficiently prevent ganks and efficiently open up for ganks that he wouldn't have seen elsewise. You could see him putting a trap up here, for instance, a trap here at the rune, a trap here at the rune, and perhaps even a trap between the towers somewhere like this to see when people are moving to assist the tower without TPing in. And needs to get these traps out to give vision. However, could also just try to rip them as he gets that Shadow Fiend in mid instantly. Wow, this wind, not really a wind, rather Linnea, Templar Assassin in mid, gets rid of that Shadow Fiend quickly. But there's just going to be another free kill for Spectre, or is it? Yeah, he does get the dagger off, so he's going to kill that Tide Hunter with the Haunt. However, Toto down on bottom, together with Massive, finish off Cat. And the Puck is definitely not having the game of his life. He's 0-3, 41 CS, while Morphling is 57 CS and 2-0. So we saw how powerful the Lebanese Morphling got last game. This time it's looking way better for him. Better farm, better kill to death, and a better position in the game in general for him. So this is, like I said, this is the ticking bomb for Lebanon. So far, so good. They need to keep up this pressure before the Spectre gets too farmed, that he's going to take them by surprise. Until then, it looks like they're pretty much in control of this game. Shadow Fiend pushing down on bottom and getting some farm up. Middle. Linnea pops Illusion Rune. Spotted a couple of heroes here with their traps. Finally, the Visage reaches level 6, allowing for those birds. Of course, needs to be careful that Linnea doesn't just one-shot them as she can with that meld. As they give 100 gold bounty each. Now that's something. That's something. Clockwork's going to go on this Mercurial Spectre up top on his own. He's not even going to catch her. So, a little bit of a failed engage attempt coming out of ET this time around. Chose to go for Arcane Boots as Morphling. Oh, Morphling is pressuring the Shadow Fiend here, not giving him space at all. It looks like the Sentinel efficiently locked down the Shadow Fiend in this game. Let's have a look. He died 3 times. He does have 71 CS actually. That's remarkable for 3 deaths at this point. It's a pretty good farm. But they're still doing everything they can to keep him under pressure and delay that BKB the most possible. This guy is not being delayed at all though. They're not really dealing with the Spectre, who's left to completely free farm top.
A player's forces are under attack.
Linnea, Tide, and Witch Doctor sniffing around looking for a target. Puck could be that target, but he does not go that way around, and he probably would have escaped it anyway. Medallion has come up on the Linnea now, and we all know how it is in this version with the Medallion on Linnea. It's been called that it's ridiculously overpowered, as she can pretty much one-shot supports with using that Medallion and then the Meld. As together it gives -6 on the Medallion, and it gives -8 on the Meld. That's -14 armor on that powerful hit. It's going to rip them totally on a single target. Morphling pushing bottom. Interesting how this is playing out right now. The Scourges are not hiding that they want to push top. There are 4 heroes up there right now. Clockwork solo defends against that. He's going to get engaged. He's going to get ripped way too far in there and completely bursted out with ET. Not as sharp as he was in last game, I have to say, but still, they do get the bottom tower on the Morphling. They're pushing the middle tower with the Linnea and Tide. And I really think Serbia are taking a bad trade here. This is not what they should be doing at this moment. They're losing towers on 2 lanes for 1 tower and a kill. And it was obvious this was going to happen. They just chose it. They need to get this tier 2 to make this a worthy trade. And by the looks of it, it's not going to be a free tier 2 either, as Morphling is just going to push the next one down on bottom. He's fine with this. And they're fine with it in mid as well, as Babar as well as Tide are going to finish off this Spectre and just try to get out of there now. And they are successfully going to get out of it. Spectre doesn't claim either of them. And now they're losing the bottom tower almost. Do get the top tower. Half HP on the bottom one with that Morphling there. It's going to clean up the next wave and probably be able to take it unless they come back to defend it. Going to look for a waveform coming up now. No. Okay, he's going to save the waveform for a bit. As Linnea is sending illusions against this Shadow Fiend to just scare him off. Morphling is just getting much farm. This should worry Serbia quite a bit as well. It's not only the Spectre that we need to worry about. It's certainly this Morphling as well. And now Shadow Fiend has every reason to be worried. In comes Linnea. 1 hit, 2 hit, 3 hit is going to finish him off. And Morphling is using that morph ever so perfectly, staying on red HP but not getting killed, and is getting out of there alive. So Babar is really becoming a force with this Linnea, and this is what I like to see with the Linnea. Aggressive play, tower diving and roaming. He's 4, 1, and 4. And does have a gold for Blink Dagger as well. Now, it's not funny to be a Shadow Fiend in this game, I can tell you. And it's actually not even fun being any of these guys. He can almost one-shot this puck. He's got 850 HP. Crystal Maiden, I believe he can actually one-shot. Literally. Blinking in, Medallion, Meld, and then 1 hit is going to probably kill her. Or at least very, very close when he has Refraction on.
Forces are under attack.
And she won't like that. Spectre's hiding. What's her gold count? 39. Does she have a relic? Wow, she has the relic. 17-minute relic, treads, and Vanguard on this Spectre, getting very, very fat. And Lebanon look like they're going for this top tower now, actually. Feel confident with this. Did Babar pick up the dagger? No, he didn't. He's got a lot of gold. He's not buying yet. But they're staying in the smoke. Now they're going to find Maiden. Say bye-bye to your Maiden. There we go. Boom. Babar's going to take that kill. Now they might be in trouble. However, is there a response? Spectre's caught in there as well. Beautiful Pug Ultimate is going to catch them all. But they're all going to get catched in the Tide Ulti as well. Nice. Phase Shift is going to keep her alive from that waveform. And now Spectre is trying to get the Tide Hunter. Is going to get Maledicted. Is going to get stunned. No stun yet. The birds pursuing Snoop. Snoop's in trouble. Snoop's in so much trouble that he's going to die for it. Babar got a kill on Victor while all that was happening. And now Pug is in trouble. Does have mana for an orb now. But the slow from Babar is going to lock them all in place. Is Puck going to be able to orb out? No, she's not. She's going to get killed by neutral, so that's a good play coming out there. Morphling pursuing the Spectre. Is there something more? Short stun. Is there a trap? Trap's going to come out from Babar in just a moment. No, he's going to find the Crystal Maiden instead, and she's probably going to get ripped. But now there's a TP support coming in. Who is that? It's Shadow Fiend. And actually, Lebanon have to escape right now to get out of here alive. But still a pretty good fight for them. They got the tower. They got a couple of kills. Probably exchanged a couple of kills as well. I believe Clockwork died, and probably Tide Hunter died as well. Yes, he did. But still, Morphling stays alive and gets a lot of gold in these exchanges. And even though Spectre is getting fat and going to get that Radiance, the Morphling burst power is almost going to be enough to take her out. He gets a quick Ethereal Blade. So you could consider Morphling a counter to Spectre at that point of time when the Ethereal Blade comes up, because he can actually burst her down. Once you get another tank item like a Heart or a Manta Style, it's not going to be as easy. But until that point, you could really win the game for the Lebanese guys right now. Linnea sitting on 3,700 gold. I'm gonna keep an eye on Babar to see what he picks up, if he's gonna try to beat the highest gold record I've ever seen in an official game. I believe the highest record I've seen in an official game was Melk's Visage with more than 10,000 gold stacked without full inventory, so it wasn't just for rebuy money, it was for shits and giggles. I doubt Babar is gonna try to beat that record in this particular game. Spectre, however, is using her Haunt, probably worried that they were at Roshan. It doesn't seem like there's anybody to jump on, at least. And is going to spot Linnea going down on bottom. Is she going to buy the blink? She's not buying anything. What's going on? By the way, the song which is playing right now is absolutely fantastic. It is Ghost Love Score with Nightwish. And just a fantastic song in my opinion. Yeah, of course, opinions are many, and some people will say, fuck you, and play some proper music. We like Misery, we like hardstyle. Nothing against electronic music, by the way. It's just fun to make fun of, isn't it? However, it's gonna be... What's Babar getting? He's certainly mind-fucking me right now with that bag of gold. Doesn't seem likely that he's gonna pick up a blink when he was down at the shop and didn't choose to get it. Is it gonna be a heart? Oh, he might be too far in though. Scourge are not going on him yet. Now they are. Puck ulti. Do they have a dust? Yes, they do. There it is from Crystal Maiden. It is going to hit. Babar's duking them the best he can. He's TPing. Not going to happen. The Frostbite was saved. And now he's going to take the fall. So Mega Kill ends. And finally he's probably going to realize that he needs to buy an item. Question is if this is not even a trade actually. This turned out very good for the Scourge. Didn't lose anything up top by doing a 4-man gang on bottom. Could have imagined that Lebanon would be pushing top meanwhile, but no, they weren't. In fact, Serbia are even pushing up here, so looking all good for them at this moment, apart from the 15-10 creeps kill score. They look in a pretty good position still. Spectre's Radiance is up. It is up. BKB up on Shadow Fiend as well. And the clock is just ticking for the Sentinel, I feel. And they're not doing what they can to win it right now. Need to be more aggressive and try to push these towers. They seem to have a pretty powerful combo in this Tide and Clockwork, as well as Morphling, who's got his Lincolns up this time around at a more reasonable time. The longer they wait, the more items Serbia gets, the less likely it seems that Lebanon will take this one easily, should we say, after they had a pretty good start. They were 11-7, now they're 15-10. And it seems like percentage-wise the scores are narrowing in. And the farm on the Scourge Heroes are eventually perhaps going to carry it for them. Shadow Fiend sitting on 115. Spectre sitting on 117. Morphling sitting on 120. But his teammates are 70 and 76, so not near the farm of the other heroes. And a very, very static game indeed at this point. You just feel like one of the teams has to make a move at some point now. Is it going to be Clock? He's going to use the rocket there. There's no way he's going to kill this. Or is the trap from Babar is there, but it's not going to find him. It's going to find him there though. Is he going to use it? He's not using the trap. And there is indeed a Puck Orb. Shadow Fiend shows up to assist as well. Up top, now it's going to happen. Lebanon are trying to get the Spectre, but immediately haunts out of it. Well played, and could actually claim a life for it. He is gonna as well. Nice map awareness from the Serbians, immediately getting him into mid where he assists and getting that kill. And now this seems like they could be pushing through in middle. The Lebanese heroes up top are going to try to push that lane as well to perhaps get a tower trade, while Serbia seem not to be wanting to push the tower, but rather get an Aegis for the Spectre. Lebanon knows this is the time of fighting. Going to rebuy that Clockwork and try to take this fight before it's too late. They know exactly what's going on. Everybody's TPing. Smoke has been popped for that extra movement speed for the Lebanon top heroes. Are they going to be in time? Roshan's half HP. Who's top? It's a Replicate. Morphling is here. Lebanon's... Oh, he's got a Stygian. Finally we know what Babar's going for. He's going to slow them all with the trap, but he's probably going to be too late. He's going to get hit by that Spectre Dagger. Nice Tide ultimate. It's going to hit 4 heroes. Visage is going to take the immediate fall. Shadow Fiend ult is getting popped. Puck is low. Tide is low, but neither of them is going to die just yet, as Linnea is finishing off Shadow Fiend in a couple of hits. Crystal Maiden ulti is going to get killed in a couple of hits as well. Everything is going the Sentinel's way. Lebanon are wiping them completely. They took 4 kills and even got the Aegis on the Morphling. Serbia was completely taken by surprise in that fight, and Lebanon immediately securing this by saving. What a fantastic play.
A player's forces are under attack.
Wow, I'm left a little bit stunned by that. It was very, very well executed. Especially the fact that they even got to steal the Aegis. I'm not sure who got the who exactly got the Roshan kill, but no matter. Very, very well played by Lebanon. Oh, they need to not lose that Aegis on nothing now. But it might not be nothing. Puck Orb is used on harassment, and now he's going to get caught in the cogs. Morph is there, and he's going to finish him off with a gush from Tidehunter. So Cat misusing his orb and is going to pay for it with that Babar trap there from the Lanaya. And now the Sentinel side might even try to take this tier 2 mid. There's 30 seconds on the Puck now, 3 seconds on the Spectre. And well, even though the Spectre is getting fat, it just seems like, at least from that last team fight, it doesn't matter too much, as the Lebanese heroes have the farm spread. And the Tide ultimate was great, and once they get that Tide ultimate, Babar is just going to snipe somebody quickly with that Linnea. And it was the Shadow Fiend the last time, just died so fast. And just imagine once that Morphling gets an item or two up, it's going to be so hard for Serbia. So they really need to try to pull their team fights together now. Good Pug ulti, good Shadow Fiend ulti, and Spectre to clean it. That's what they're going to need. As they lose a mid tower and a bottom tower, Lebanon are gaining ground. They're gaining ground quickly. Is going to be denied at least for the Serbians, so there's a little bit of happiness to be spotted there probably. But that's going to be all for now. After that massive loss in the last team fight, they're not going to be happy with this. Visage is sitting on absolutely nothing. Crystal Maiden sitting on absolutely nothing. What about the Sentinel supports? Tide. Witch Doctor has treads and a bracer, nothing remarkable. Tide has boots and an urn. Somewhat something, but also almost nothing. So the supports on both sides, very, very poor. And that just means that the carries become so much more of a force because they can really take out these supports so quickly. Which is what Babar can do with that one, which is what Massive can do with this one, and which is what Spectre and Shadow Fiend can definitely do as well. Taking out these supports very, very quickly. Witch Doctor is not going to stand a chance against a couple of Shadow Fiend hits and a Spectral Dagger. Question is if there's going to be another fight. Oh, we didn't even consider this. Morphling replicating that Radiant Spectre is going to mean a hell of a lot in fights. I didn't even think about that until now. Shame on me.
A player's forces are under attack.
Blink daggers. Oh wait, he had that already. Well, there you go. He's got the blink dagger, guys. You see it? He already had it. Fuck you, Sind. Linaya sitting on a big bag of gold once again. What's he gonna get this time, Babar? Is he gonna trick us all again and wait? Or is he gonna buy an actual item? We will see soon enough. Morphling, 3,100 gold, is gonna get that Ethereal Blade very, very soon. And that does not look good for the Scourge side, because that means that the Spectre's survivability is not going to keep her alive. Either that or the supports are going to get picked off so quickly by this Morphling. Of course, Blade Mail and Spectre could backfire on the Morphling very, very easily. He needs to take care that he doesn't get taken by surprise by that one. Gem up on the Visage, trying to clean out some wards with his birds, wisely enough. And especially the traps, probably, that they don't want to walk into anymore. But needs to realize that the birds don't have the gem. Now he does. And now Lebanon are up to snuff. They've got the Blink Dagger on the Tide. That's what set this off. Now they want to go for it with that Blink. Linnea, DD as well. It's gonna hurt like fuck. Spectre. Finding herself quite far in, but Tide does not dare going in on this. He could have perhaps taken the chance there. Blink Gush ulti and then setting it up nicely for the Morphling and Linnea to finish off. Didn't go for it though. And now the Scourge are probably going to be able to successfully defend this lane. Spectre's going to just farm up all of it. It's going to be like, thank you for pushing the wave up to my base so I can farm safely. Clockwork scares off Shadow Fiend in mid. A little bit of split push going off now from Lebanon, trying to push mid as well as bottom at the same time. But nothing seems to be coming out of it, and now they're going to TP the Morphling back to get this farm. Wants to finish that Ethereal Blade before they really get down to business. And probably a wise decision here as well. If they get taken by surprise, get a bad team fight against this Spectre, that could really turn this game around. So far they look to be in control, but that can turn ever so quickly, we know, on the back of a farmed Spectre. So playing it safe right now, but need to be careful that this guy does not get too many items as well. Puck's got a blink as well, important for the Scourge. It's going to help them a lot in setting up these team fights that they really need to win. Puck ulti, Shadow Fiend ulti, and then the Spectre to clean it up. And with this blink, they can really make some good engages. When the heroes are standing like they are right here in a bunch, this could really open up for them. If they see this opportunity, they could just completely tear them apart. but of course they don't see them right now. This ward over here is the Sentinel ones, and actually the Scourge don't seem to have many wards out right now. Morphling, does he have it? There's the Ghost Scepter. It's actually a little bit of a shame, but yes, Ethereal Blade indeed does not cost a recipe. I believe it did at some point. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it doesn't cost a recipe, so now the Morphling does have that Ethereal Blade. That is not good for the Serbians. Messerschmitt has come out on Babar as well for a little bit of extra tanking. Actually quite a lot of extra tanking on that Linnea. This 25 strength, yeah, it gives about 500 HP.
Our player's forces are under attack.
And when we get into actually some sort of tech for the game, Linnea's AE HP is actually pretty high. Her effective HP, meaning the real HP she has to sustain physical attacks. She has 1600 HP, that's something, but then she has 16.7 armor, which gives her a damage reduction of 50%, meaning that her efficient HP is 3200. Of course, no magic resistance means that magic damage is efficient against her, but the Shadow Fiend is going to need a lot of effort to bring her down because she has so much armor and HP at the same time. Shadow Fiend completely misusing BKB. Haunt has been used as well. Serbia are completely messing this one up. And the Witch Doctor heal is going to take everyone up to full HP again on the Sentinel side, and the Sentinel will be stupid not to try to push this one through for at least the top tower here, and perhaps even more at the base. Spectre has a Messerschmitt as well. It's going to be hard to take down, even harder than the Linnea. She's got 14 armor and 2200 HP, so she's very, very beefy and hard to deal with. But of course, Ethereal Blade ignores that armor, so the burst damage from this Morphling could easily get it over and done with. And the Spectre wouldn't be such a hard target after all.
Town is under siege.
Couple of birds flying out. This looks like some free farm for Lebanon. Oh, Morphling's going in, trying to burst out the puck. He does get silenced, but now the Tide ulti is going to do the job. Shadow Fiend is caught outside by the Tide ulti as well. There goes Victor is taking the fall as well. Spectre is dealing massive amounts of damage, takes down the Tide, takes down the Witch Doctor as well. Now Shadow Fiend takes the fall. Babar's dealing millions of damage, but he's taking them as well. And now Morphling is back in, trying to get the Spectre to get that full team wipe. Can't finish him off, and it's going to be a 3 for 4. Still won by Lebanon, but actually cost the Aegis from that Morphling, and they won't even be able to base push this. And a little bit of perhaps an overconfident engage from the Morphling by going on that puck. They did finish off the puck, but they got into a pretty bad position afterwards. And we just saw the power of this Spectre in that fight. Took Tide, took Witch Doctor, and then this is what it all came down to. Ooh, Morphling, take care. The Blade Mail was on. Doesn't look good for him. Is he going to be able to replicate? There is indeed a replicate. But he's not using it! What the hell was Massive thinking? That was just a free kill for Serbia, and Gordon is going to be very happy to get that one. Getting close to that heart now as well. He's going to pick up the Vit booster. He's got 1300. If he doesn't even have the Vit booster already, does he have the recipe or something? Where's Gordon? Gordon's here. No, he doesn't. He has it. He actually does have the heart. And now this one could go either way, especially with the Roshan available now to the Scourge. Morphling throwing his life away there cost them not only a heart to the Spectre, it cost them more the Roshan most likely, unless they can actually make it out there on time. As there's a rebuy from Morphling, he needs to TP and he needs to do so fucking fast as well. No, there's no way they're going to make it, but they might try to take the afterfight. As Spectre is half HP, they're going to find these illusions, run straight past them, and try to take this fight. Witch Doctor, the trap was there. Beautiful Witch Doctor bounce is going to keep all of them pretty stunned for a while. Tidehunter is going to walk in for it now, going to get the gush off on that Maiden, and now they're going to be in a bad position, or are they? Shadow Fiend gets his BKB off, massive damage on the back of the Tide. He still has his ultimate ready. Witch Doctor takes the fall, and the Aegis has been used by Spectre as well. Now, Morphling bursts out the Crystal Maiden. Tidehunter, does he still have the ulti? Does he have it? If so, he doesn't use it at least. As he didn't even use the ulti. He's going to save it for the next fight. And well, does this look like a turnaround or what on the back of that Spectre? As Shadow Fiend and Puck are now in hot pursuit of this Morphling. He's going to get silenced, take a couple of hits, and it's actually going to be... Oh, it's not going to be enough! He manages to waveform out of that with one more hit would have killed him, and now it could actually turn around as Morphling's going to knock her out of the cogs. And now nicely waveforming away from that Spectre. Haunt has been used for nothing right now, and that could set up something for the Sentinel once they resurrect. Might enable them to take a fight again. And well, they did get that Aegis used on the Spectre in that fight, but it cost them ever so much, and it just seems like the Sentinel has to realize that it looks like a now or never situation now, in which the Scourge are getting more and more farm, and eventually will overpower them with the power of Spectre as well as Shadow Fiend. So the fights for Lebanon have to be successful now. That means that Tide cannot save his ultimate. It has to be there. They're not going to win the fights without it. Lanaya found Shadow Fiend. She's probably going to make him use his BKB and TP out. Yes, she is. Clockwork Hook's not going to do it. It actually didn't hit, I believe. So now the Shadow Fiend BKB is down to 5. It might have been so before as well. Didn't check it. That's important for the Sentinel that this BKB has been brought down a bit, because it enables the Tidehunter ultimate to perhaps hit the Shadow Fiend for a higher probability, and also allows the Witch Doctor stun to bounce, and of course the Morphling to burst him out. And there looks like this. Of course the Replicate is always going to be a force in this game, because when Spectre gets more powerful, so does the Replicate. But of course the power of it is not the same. So when Spectre scales, it of course scales more than the Replicate does in relevance. And that means that the Sentinel need to take this opportunity now. They've got Invis on Tide, he has Blink, and he even has a smoke for his team if they see an option to go. Lanaya has picked up an Ograk, she's going to go for BKB.
A player's forces are under attack.
The song running right now is Iron Maiden, Afraid to Shoot Strangers. Another gem is up on Visage. Just trying to find the wards of the Sentinel, and of course the slowing traps from Lanaya. Looks like they're going to go for it pretty soon. At least the Lebanese boys have stacked up outside the Scourge base. But trying to force it through like this might not be the right approach. Like I said, they need to take the fight. They need to realize it's now or never. But there's several ways of doing this. And jumping straight into their base is probably not one that is going to be successful.
A player's forces are under attack.
Morphling has no HP at all, he needs to be careful. He morphed everything to agility, which means that he can probably kill himself with his combo on the Spectre if the Blade Mail is up. Actually, he should be able to kill himself from full HP.
A player's forces are under attack.
Morphling all of a sudden shows up with a BKB that I didn't even notice he was getting at. So he got a third item now. See if it comes in handy. Of course, should block the blade mail. Oh, and now Puck is getting engaged. This could be huge. The clockwork is in there on him, but he's going to be able to blink out. Tide ulti hits a lot. Massive is going to blow over the cat Morphling with Morphling, but the Spectre is just showing his power right away, and they're going to be completely wiped. Lebanon had no chance in that fight at all. And the carriers are just going to blow them down in seconds. Triple kill for the Spectre. Witch Doctor's just happy to get out of there alive. And this looks like Serbia are heading towards victory on this one. Or perhaps he's not even going to get out of there alive, this Witch Doctor. Cat doing a nice little bit of blocking, trying to get the familiars close enough, but it's not going to happen. Does get Visage close enough, however, and that could be enough. If the Visage nuke is fired, it is. Oh, and now Cat needs to get out of there, but he will so as well with that Blink Dagger. And the full team white is going to give Serbia racks here. So Spectre just completely overpowering the Sentinel side. Gordon showing up with almost a full inventory at 42 minutes. And I think this one is all over and done with for Lebanon. I don't see a comeback in this with a fat Shadow Fiend and a fat Spectre. The time might have come to call this a GG and focus on the third game. And have to say that Serbia coming back strong after the first game, at least in terms of farming up and then playing their strategy the way they should. They definitely did it their way this game, while Lebanon seemed to be struggling with finding out how to deal with this completely. And it's biting their tails right now as Serbia seems to try to retreat. Good engage coming out of Lebanon though. They're going to catch a couple of heroes in that cog. And Morphling just instantly dies to the Puck. Yeah, it's hard to keep track of this. It all happens so fast with this Spectre being so fat, so no much need for explanation. We all know what's going on. They're going to get wiped. Full Sentinel team wipe. The GG is called for Lebanon, and we're going to go into game 3. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.